Welcome back to Tipton Bros. Today, we'll be discussing the tragic death of Cuban boxer Benny "Kid" Paret, the circumstances leading up to the fight, the match itself, and the fallout of the welterweight's premature demise. Now, let's get into it. Born Bernardo Paret in Santa Clara, Cuba, Benny was a promising prospect for the sport of boxing, having his first professional bout at only 17 years of age. Although unranked, Paret was touted for his heart and ability to withstand damage. According to boxer Emil Griffith's manager, Howie Albert, quote, he could take 50 punches to land 2. Although some may slight Kid for a lack of defense, to Benny, toughness was a calling card, and a quality to be proud of. Additionally, Paret's wife mentioned his rhythm and love of dance, which greatly benefited his footwork. He burst onto the U.S. professional boxing scene when he scored an upset win on December 18, 1959, over fellow welterweight Charlie Scott of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The match was televised and held at the world-renowned Madison Square Garden. The win propelled Benny into the upper echelon of boxing discussion, and on May 27, 1960, Paret would capture the elusive welterweight title from Don Jordan via unanimous decision. 4 fights later, Kid would drop the belt to Emil Griffith, a heavy-handed fighter from the Virgin Islands, who knocked him out cold in the 13th round. Benny received an immediate rematch and reclaimed his lost title from Griffith some 6 months afterwards, September 30th, 1961, by split decision. Both matches were competitive, with each boxer winning one apiece. A third fight was not only necessary, but a tantalizing proposition for fans around the world. Cushioned between the trilogy fight with Emil, Benny Paret would face off against the Mormon Mauler, Gene Fullmer. Fullmer battered the stubborn Paret for 10 rounds, pinning him to the ropes and landing flurries of flush shots to the jaw. The bout was stopped when Gene uncorked a stiff left hook, coupled with a straight right, sending Benny crashing to the canvas. A 10th round KO loss. Incurring massive head trauma, this fight likely contributed to Paret's untimely death, which snowballed into his final fight. Roughly 3 months later, the highly anticipated trilogy match was set, Benny Paret versus Emil Griffith III. Nationally televised by ABC, the 15-round bout was to be held at Madison Square Garden, a familiar setting. During the weigh-ins, tension skyrocketed, following anti-gay remarks on the part of Paret towards Emil. According to Griffith himself, Benny leaned in while he was on the scale and whispered "maricon," a homophobic slur, in his ear. The antics left Emil incensed, having to be physically restrained. Waging such an accusation at this point in history could not only be career-ruining, but life-threatening. Furthermore, Emil struggled terribly with his sexuality, and would subsequently come out as bisexual. Jumping to the night of the fight, March 24, 1962, enthusiasm had reached fever pitch, with both fighters anxiously bouncing in their corners. Paret is seen here in white, Griffith in black. The contest was entertaining, with Benny nearly finishing Griffith in the 6th round. While I could commentate on the ending sequence, the 20-plus unanswered strikes, and the appalling late stoppage, I feel that the tragic footage is best viewed by itself. Here is the latter half of the 12th round, and the final moments of Benny "Kid" Paret.
Paret against the ropes, almost helpless. A minute to go. And they're going to stop it. They're going to stop it as Paret sags to the canvas. Paret goes down from sheer exhaustion. Look at him there. As his handlers get his mouthpiece out. Dr. Schiff is coming over to look at him. Paret has collapsed from exhaustion from that beating on the ropes. And Dr. Alexander Schiff of the Commission is trying to get at him.
Paret immediately fell into a coma and was transferred to Manhattan's Roosevelt Hospital, where he would pass away 10 days later, April 3, 1962. The cause of death is officially listed as cerebral hemorrhaging. He is buried at St. Raymond's Cemetery in the Bronx, New York City. Emil Griffith held tremendous guilt for his part in the tragedy for decades. Here is a short clip from the 2005 documentary titled Ring of Fire, the Emil Griffith story, where Benny's adult son, Benny Paret Jr., embraces an aging Griffith and offers him forgiveness for his father's death.
Mr. Griffith, it's a pleasure meeting you. My pleasure meeting you, sir. Are you the kid's son.
But I want you to know that it's there's no hard feelings here, and
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I didn't go in there to hurt no one,
I know.
but things happen.
I know.
He says, I always wanted to meet you too, you know.
So have I.
With your mommy.
My mom, it's hard for her.
I understand.
It's hard for her, but
I understand.
but
It's very hard
one thing
for
I
her,
can say.
understand.
One thing I can say is that there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings at all.
Thank you.
Griffith himself would die July 23, 2013, from dementia pugilistica, a form of CTE, 8 years after the filming of this biography. He is interred at St. Michael's Cemetery in Queens, New York. I hope you've enjoyed today's brief overview of Benny Kid Paret. We are a small channel, so a like is greatly appreciated, and recommendations are always welcome. Until next time on Tipton Bros.